Takbir! Allah! Takbir! Allah! Takbir! Allahu Akbar!
Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abdu rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Amma ba'd. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to try to make this short session as short and straight to the point. As far as I'm concerned, this country, America, has once again proven that they are incapable of judging justly and fairly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, "O you who believe, stand firmly for justice, even if it be against yourself." And it seems as if the American institution has always had a problem with that. I'm from a race of people, the black race, in which we've been fighting for social justice over 400 years. 400 years. And the man still doesn't want to accept the fact that even though black babies are being shot down on the streets, even though they find themselves being subjected to white police officers, they don't want to accept the fact that there's systemic racism in America. So he's in a state of denial. That's the first thing we have to understand. And then when you put him in a position where he has to arbitrate overseas, and you take in consideration that Israel is not just an ally, Israel is a co-conspirator. They are co-conspirators. You can't separate what Israel is doing from the support that it's getting from the United States. Right now, you got warships sitting outside of Gaza. And those warships are there to give permission to the Zionists to go in and murder men, women, children, and babies. Last week, when the press, the biased press, the unjust press, when they talked about what happened, they didn't come with the balance. All they talked about was all the babies that got killed in Israel. What about those babies that were getting killed periodically when the Zionists were going into Palestine and they were killing men, women, children, and babies? This has been going on for quite some time. They talk about the rights. They talk about the rights of the Israelis. What about the rights of the Palestinians? What about their rights? What about their right to exist? What about their right to defend themselves? When you judge, you must judge justly. That means everybody gets the balance. Everybody gets the justice. And this country is incapable of doing that. And so my position is very clear. The country should recuse itself because it's unfit to be able to arbitrate in this situation. The press should recuse itself because it's unfit to even give a correct narrative. When the incident happened last week, the press said it was unprovoked violence. Unprovoked? What does that mean? Does that mean that the Zionists have not been going into the Palestinian community and killing innocent men, women, and children and babies? Does that mean that those walls that have been set up for the specific purpose of developing an apartheid and ethnic cleansing? Does that mean that the situation that happened last spring during the month of Ramadan, when the doors were kicked into the third holiest mosque in the world, the third holiest mosque, people were in there worshiping, the believers were worshiping, And the windows were broken. The mosque was broken into. They was thrown down, slammed on their faces, handcuffed, and then dragged out of the mosque during the holy month of Ramadan. What do you mean unprovoked violence? You should have seen this coming. So I'm going to close out with this, my brothers and sisters. I said I'll make it short. And my position is, again, that he should recuse himself. This system, this government should recuse himself. And the press should recuse themselves because they don't give a fair narrative. It's one-sided. All you hear about what is happening to the Israelis, but you don't hear what's happening about the Palestinians. You don't hear about the suffering that they've been going through, that they've been drinking water and eating food for a while that makes a pig puke. They've been suffering for this. Women have been shot down at the walls simply because they refused to submit to an apartheid system. The only time that they had any kind of defense was a bunch of youth that were there with rocks going up against automatic weapons. The comparison, there is no comparison. And as far as I'm concerned, there was never an intention for a two-state solution. It was always a situation where they wanted to bring it to this point so that they can ultimately annihilate the Palestinian people, and that's what they're on the verge of trying to do. So I say, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may He strengthen the believers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may He bring true justice, the justice of the Quran, because the Quran is the Furqan. The Quran is the criteria. The Quran is that which tells the difference between what is right and wrong. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring His justice, and may He establish it. May He protect the Palestinian people for whatever is getting ready to happen. And may we all, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen all of us and help us in our endeavor.